Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Leavers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a no characterization version of Wrong and Wronger. I am Steve, just a regular bro, Olivas, and he is James, the guy your mother warned you about, Breakwell. And we're here doing the podcast where we argue about things that matter not to nobody, even those that can speak correctly. But really, James, who are we talking to?
Well, we are talking to literally nobody. Actually, I was thinking about this earlier when I was talking to my wife, because she said she doesn't watch it, and I was going to, get on her for that. But then I realized I don't watch us either. Like, I look at the very first few seconds to make sure I get our voices synced up, and then I'm out. There's no way I'm watching the rest of this episode. So we are talking to no one, not even ourselves.
Wow. Well, you must be delighted to be here, and I'm only talking to you, James, but I know you are. And the thing we're going to argue tonight has a lot to do with what has been causing me anguish over the last several months. But James, what will our topic be this evening?
We are going to argue whether or not we should keep the poll that determines that I win every single week. Like last week, glasses versus cups.
What?
Again, another crushing victory for this guy right here. And I guess Steve has had his feelings hurt one too many times. And he wants to take his ball and go home. It's only natural.
It's funny, our interns, they used to write these long paragraphs of explanation, and now it's like one sentence. Yeah, James won again. And so even they're bored with their jobs, James, and they're not even getting paid for it.
Well, I can't help it that you're letting everybody down. I mean, you are the Harlem Globetrotters. No, I'm the Harlem Globetrotters to your Washington Generals. I got the analogy backward there. You're just the patsy. You're here and you're supposed to lose, but you gotta make it entertaining, Steve. You gotta put some razzmatazz in it as you go down in this sinking ship, but you don't. You just show up and you stand there like a punching bag and you take your blows and you go home. And people expect more. Come on.
Well, you would think they'd have some sympathy for the underdog at some point, but apparently I'm not even a sympathetic loser.
I mean, okay, you've got years of experience, though, like 30, 40 extra years on me, and then on top of that, you've got a degree in psychology to manipulate people into voting for you. You travel all around the country to rally support. I just sit here in my own house. Don't go talk to anybody in real life, and I win. Well, what's up with that?
How can you call me old when you use a term like razzmatazz? Where'd you pull that one out of? It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I went to my old-timey 1940s dictionary to find words that you would understand. I'm trying to get through on your level. I thought maybe that was the problem. Maybe you just don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, and that's why you keep losing these debates.
Sure. I've got a onesie swimsuit that goes all the way up to my neck. That's right. Well, James, we have to start the show with compliments, because that lets people know that we are real human beings inside of a shell that looks like you. So you give me a compliment first, James. What do you got this week?
I would like to compliment you for picking your worst character of all time, yourself. I didn't think you had the dramatic depth to go that far to a character so hideous that everyone would universally revile them, but you did. You played the ultimate villain that was you, and I felt it. I really did. I could feel the revulsion through the screen. So
wow.
So thank you for taking us there. It was a journey.
I went full Stravinsky on this one. I went method. So I had to get into the zone. I had to find my motivation to just get on the phone with you again tonight. And it was marginally enough for me to pick up when you called. And you got through right away, by the way, on this hotel number. So, James, I want to congratulate you on finally figuring out how to operate one of those phone networks that doesn't have a human being involved. Press 1 for this, 2 for that. I know it gets complicated for a guy like you, but something's going on in the background that doesn't sound like it's going to end well.
Well, if you read my newsletter, you know we're trying to keep the pig out of the beds, and I put up a gate. It's like the Berlin Wall in the middle of their room. I thought it would keep the pig out, but from the sound of it, the pig has breached the wall. That's what that was the sound of. I will investigate later.
You know, the real Berlin Wall had that long cleared area before it, so you had to run across an open field and risk getting shot on your way over to the wall. And the wall is rounded at the top, so grappling hooks don't work. And so how the pig was able to breach your containment vesicle is actually quite an impressive feat of engineering. But given your later newsletters, your pigs, they'll rise to the challenge.
Yes, and I also forgot to build the sniper tower, so that probably explains their success.
Oh, right. Well, let's see. All right. Well, yes, getting the pigs out of the bed, I'm sure you're employing psychological tactics, and I'm always on the ready if you want to consult with somebody who's somewhat of an expert in this area.
Well, I guess you are something of a pig whisperer, being one yourself, so I can see that. I can see how you might be able to commune with them. That makes sense.
That was boorish even for you, Breakwell. My God. All right. Well, good. So we've now complimented each other, and we can move into the meat. We've gotten through the fat and all of the cartilage and the bone, and we're going to get to... I'm running out of everything. I was sick all weekend. I was in Detroit yesterday. I'm in Kansas City tonight. I was in Nashville for about an hour and a half in between. Oh, James, just to get done with this show is going to be a feat, a Herculean effort for me. But what shall the two the two sides of the normal Eagle Quarter of Fate going to represent for you tonight?
Heads, I'm arguing keep the pole. Tails, I'm arguing get rid of the pole.
Heads is keep, tails is get rid of.
Yes.
I do have a Twitter follower who loves when I drop the quarter, so I shan't tonight. It is down, and it is tails. You have the eagle, and you have whatever that was that I can't remember.
I am arguing to get rid of the pole, which makes sense.
Oh, for God's sake, I gotta argue keep.
Yes, you do. So here's...
I mean, good. That's the side I wanted. I want to hear what you have to say.
So here's the deal. Steve, you're a sports guy. You've called high school sports, college sports, whatever sports. You've been up in the press box. You know what it's like. And you have seen a blowout. It's not fun for the team that's getting beaten. It's not fun for the fans of the losing team. It's not fun for the fans of the winning team. Everybody just feels bad, and that's where the referee lets the clock run to get that game over with earlier. Or sometimes, if you're down by 10 touchdowns, let's just call the game. It depends on how strict the league is where you're at, but there are mercy rules put in place. Now, when I am up by, 14, 15, 20 episode wins, I mean, how can we not put in a mercy rule? At some point, we just got to say you've had enough. I mean, you gave it a good shot over and over and over. The people have heard you, and the people have said nay. And putting you out here every week to have your failures quantified with a poll, I mean, it's just cruel and unusual punishment. Let's just let this one go, accept the fact that you are forever and permanently inferior to me in debating skills, and let you retire with what shred of dignity you have left.
James, I don't know if you just met me, but dignity is not my strong suit. You understand? And therefore, I want to make a somewhat nonsensical argument to keep the polls. James, you get beaten down by life constantly. Your newsletter is a chronicle to just how much a man can take before he finally snaps like a dry twig. You're getting close, my friend, and the pig going over the wall tonight might be the last link in that chain to break. But you need to keep this in your life. And I'm a giver. You know me, James. I'm always out selfless, altruistic. I do things for you because that gives me inner peace, knowing that you're going to be psychologically sound to return to this disaster again next week. So you need the poll. You need a little artificial boost in your ego, a little stroke, if you will. And frankly, James, never count out the underdog. Tell you a little story about the Tennessee Titans playing the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. This has been several years ago now. The Titans, or it might have been the Bills that came back. I don't remember exactly, but one of them overcame the biggest deficit in playoff history to win the game. The Tennessee Titans had the Music City Miracle, if you remember that play. I'm sure you did, because football is the only sport you even know 4 or 5 terms related to. So there's always a chance. Doug Flutie, 1984, the Hail Mary for Boston College at the end of that game. The Stanford lateral play running through the marching band. Like, James, I am going to win this week, and that's why we need to keep the poll, because I don't want to reclaim dignity. I want to get to that winner's circle again. I want to step on the top rung of the pyramid. I want to be Usain Bolt with that flag draped around my, maybe Michael Phelps is a more adequate. And lastly, oh wait, I actually wrote reclaim my dignity. You said that, James. I am so indignant most of the time. I can't even agree to my own argument when you make it. So there, that's all I got.
So, quick question. When's the last time the Tennessee Titans or the Buffalo Bills won the Super Bowl?
I'll tell you, the Buffalo Bills been there 4 times. Yeah. Tennessee Titans 1 time.
And did they win? I remember the Titans, they lost to the Rams, to a guy who was stocking groceries in a Hy-Vee, rolled out in the parking lot, hopped in a limo, went to the game, and threw bombs for touchdowns and left them humiliated.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And nobody else in the NFL has ever stocked groceries in a grocery store. Is that your premise?
Not one time. I'm just saying. They like. And Kurt Warner's amazing. You know what? The only thing I remember from my wedding, the homily that the priest gave, he brought up Kurt Warner. He was an inspiration to us all. He was an inspiration because he was favored to win that game, and he crushed the Titans like he was supposed to do. Because that's what
he crushed them. It went down to the last second. The Titans were 1 yard short of winning that game.
You know what? You know what 1 yard short is? Losing. It doesn't matter. You can lose to Usain Bolt by a tenth of a second, and you look at the distance out there, and it looks like you're 50 meters behind the guy. Okay, a loss is a loss is a loss. And that's what we're racking up on you here. And that's why we got to just be realistic at some point. How much can your fragile ego take? You showed up without a character tonight. Without a character. That's the only part of this whole show that you enjoy. And you have lost so much that you gave that up. And it's not like you didn't have time to think of one either. I know you just sit there in that hotel room by yourself brooding after you walk 10 miles down a hallway.
Just dreading this phone call is what I was doing. I was crying into a towel.
What's your view like tonight? Can you see all the air conditioners on the roof?
I tweeted an interior picture of the hotel because I'm tired of people hammering me for those exterior ones.
That's the only thing people want. They just want to see you get beaten down by life, because that's the thing, Steve. People are awful, especially our followers, especially our fans. The only reason they're showing up here is to see you lose. You're like the rodeo clown getting chased by the bull. Nobody wants to see you make it safely to that barrel. They want to see you gored. They want to see you get run over. And I say enough. You have taken so much of a beating. Let's take away the score. Let's take away the poll, and let's just do this for funsies. Just give you a chance to build up a little bit of self-esteem. How much of a beatdown can one man take? I don't want to see you have a nervous breakdown. You're a psychologist yourself. Who's a psychologist to a psychologist? Is there like a super psychologist you go to? I don't know. I don't want to find out. This is for your own well-being. I don't want your wife to be a widow. I don't want your son to grow up with whatever kind of a father figure you are. Just for your sake, let's take away the poll and let you return to your family in peace if they'll let you into the house.
James, you made the only argument for my side that I need, which is we are giving the people the only thing that they want. It's the only reason anyone ever tunes into this show. And so roll the dice and let them know for another week how they can watch this dumpster get a Molotov cocktail thrown right into it and explode into a beautiful bonfire of Breakwell's vanity.
Okay, so if you want to vote for James and abolishing the Twitter poll once and for all, vote for 81. If you want to vote for Steve...
Ooh, that's a great number.
And keeping the poll going for some unknown reason, vote for 31. And
that's a better number.
If you want to throw your vote away, vote for 85.
I don't mean to ruin your mojo there. Sorry about that. I didn't write down the last one because it don't matter. 31 is the only number you need to remember, people. So if you want to vote for James and the way things have always been, and you know, change, hope and change, hope hope and change, people. We got to let Steve win. We got to give Steve his due. And that's with a U-E, not like a hairdo with an O. Although I've got a fantastic hairdo under this hat, James. I haven't showered for like 4 days. I've been sick as a dog. But if you want to vote for Steve and revel in all the glory that is me, 31 is the number you need, and that just might keep the poll alive for another week. And if you want to throw your vote away, vote for James or don't vote at all. But we got to get out of here because I got to go back to bed and weep silently because I suffer indignity. James? I'm going to walk us out of here, man. Everybody, another episode has come to a close, and how delighted you must all be for us to be able to hang up and go on with our lives. So, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and as always, two wrongs can make a right.